Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 38 tonight with the Red Bra Project. I'm Renee. You've got my co-host over there. How you doing, Shauna?
I'm great. Living the dream in some finally warm weather up here in New England.
Hallelujah. You can take the sweatshirts off.
Oh, I have skin.
I know. So we have got an awesome guest lined up with us tonight. We are so excited to introduce all of our viewers and audience to Sarah Ford. So Sarah, I have to say it. So first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm so in love with your handle. So Sarah is over on Instagram and she's at Bitchy But Bubbly. And we're going to learn a little bit about her background, what that is. But I mean, we have already fallen head over heels in love with you and your attitude, your outlook, your humor. I mean, literally, we'll scroll. I'm like, yeah, that's what I needed today. So welcome to the show, Sarah. Why don't you just jump in and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, y'all. I'm Sarah. I'm the voice behind Bitchy But Bubbly. And I'm actually drinking. I'm already refilled my bubbly for tonight. I'm going to take a little
Perfect.
of that. But Bitchy But Bubbly, I think it's just an attitude. I was in one of those groups in law school where you have to introduce yourself to everyone. And it's like, oh, well, I like, skiing and I like, shopping and, telling about yourself. And so I was like, I like this. But, really, I'm just bitchy but bubbly. And everyone was like, yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm a little bitchy, sometimes I'm bubbly, but, that's how it kind of came about. So that's who I am. And that's kind of my outlook on things. And nobody's too much of one thing. And that's just me. So I started a blog, started my Instagram, and you guys found me on there. So it's nice to, people are always like, bitchy but bubbly. Wow, that's bold. I'm like, yeah, that's who we are.
It's self-awareness. It's knowing who you are.
Yeah, and being proud of that and not thinking like, ooh, being a bitch, that's a bad thing. Or, being too much of one thing is never a good thing, I don't think. I think we're all a balance, and we might as well be proud of that and say, this is who I am.
100%. So you mentioned that this kind of came about from law school. So can you explain a little bit? Are you a lawyer? Are you a blogger? What's your path?
I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer through and through. I'm a former prosecutor. I'm currently a victims' rights attorney for a statewide nonprofit here in South Carolina. So I work with crime victims and represent them in court. So that's a super fun, tough job. So you have to take a breath. But it's incredibly rewarding. I love every second of it. I'm passionate about my job every day, even the days where I'm like, ooh, sometimes I need a little bit more bubbly, literally, than others. But it comes in handy being bitchy but bubbly, because sometimes you have to say, no, this is how we're going to handle this, or this is how we're going to do that. And sometimes you turn on the charm. But it's very rewarding, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. Yeah, law school actually was an awesome experience and taught me about being bitchy but bubbly, and here I am. Yeah.
What an awesome path. And so I heard the strong y'all, and I'm not going to try to make it sound Southern. You did it perfectly. So you are born and raised in South Carolina, is that correct?
I am a Southern girl through and through. We were talking before. My mom is from Massachusetts. My dad is from South Carolina, but I'm born and raised here. And it's funny, people in South Carolina think that I don't have a strong accent because I have a mama from up north. But everybody else like, wow, you sound very Southern. You have a very Southern accent. But I am definitely a y'aller, and all y'all, I will definitely write that in an email to you. Be yourself and be a Southerner. Yeah.
I love it. That's hard work that you do. I've worked at colleges and universities, and so I have supported students through sexual assaults, but I mean, I can't even imagine day in and day out. Can you explain, like, how do you practice self-care and not, let that drag you down?
It is. It's really tough. It's one of those jobs, though, that I feel blessed that I get to do because, as someone who has been a victim of sexual assault, I've been there. I know some of the feelings and anxieties and frustrations that victims feel and that powerlessness that they feel. And to be able to represent someone as their attorney, to stand up for them in court, to be able to advise them of the process, to let them know that, you know, I can't promise what the outcome is going to be, but I'm going to stand with you every step of the way. It's a privilege to be able to do that. So I practice with our team, you know, self-care. I am perfectly inconsistently perfect. I like to meditate, but I'm not always good at it. I used to think meditation was like, okay, I have to clear my brain of everything that's in it. And that's not really how you meditate. It's kind of let the thought come through and let it go. And learning to be okay with that. I spend a lot of time on the water. I love traveling. We have a lake close by. My dad lives at the lake, and I spend a lot of time on the boat and just kind of breathing in the water. There's something about the water that's just so refreshing and healing. It heals my soul, and I know a lot of people feel that way. But I also spend a lot of time, I'm an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. I'm not really sure which. But sometimes I know when I just need to spend some time by myself and say, okay, this is just a Sarah day, and not feel bad, you know, saying, no, I can't do that. Or I have to prioritize my self-care and know that I just need a little bit of time to recharge my batteries, and that's okay. Right. So those are a couple of things that I do that help me, and music for sure. I am a singer, dancer. I don't know. Can you guys see this? I have my microphone. This is like my little karaoke room. I will just come in here and sing, turn the music up, and music just changes like your outlook. It just changes my energy. Sometimes if you have a bad day, I'm like, let me turn up a little Madonna. You know, Who's That Girl? Little Prince. I mean, how can you be like frustrated when you're like dancing in your living room to that? So true.
I love it. So you have a karaoke studio at the ready for fun. Compress.
Hey, I know it works for me. That's not going to work for a lot of people, but I know it brings me up, which changes my mood. And so I'm like, yeah. I'm ready all the time. I'm like, if I had to come and take it out of the closet and put it out, I'm like, no, it's ready all the time. So sometimes you just got to sing it out.
I think that's brilliant. So what's your favorite karaoke song? Do you have a couple like go-tos?
Oh yeah. I would say my go-to is probably old school Reba McEntire. I mean, I'm a Southern girl, but like a little Why Haven't I Heard From You, or Bonnie Raitt, some like, what is that song?
Fancy?
Oh, heck yeah. Are you kidding? Who doesn't love Fancy? I mean, Fancy was my name. So yeah, definitely some old school country, but then I'm a Fleetwood Mac fan. I'm like a huge Fleetwood Mac fan. So any kind of Stevie Nicks, like I've actually got like a little scarf around my microphone because you gotta just feel it, you know?
I feel like we need a whole episode just on your karaoke.
I will take you through it. It's all fun. It's all fun.
Oh yeah. My gosh, that is so fun. I can see you in my mind, like sliding across your floor behind you with like, the microphone, the bubbly, and just like letting it all out after a long
day. You gotta just like dance it out. Like I have I have a new dog. I have a puppy, and I've had him for about 2 months. Oh my gosh, I hope he's.
That was funny. That was on cue.
He's like, "Are you talking about me, Mom?" But he's kind of like the music. At first, he was like, "This is really loud." I don't know. Now he's like into it. He's like running around. I'm like, "You're my dog. I can tell this is good. This is gonna be good."
Listen to him. He's like, "You're talking about me." Yeah.
I know, right? I'm like, I am, but I need you to chill just a little bit.
So funny.
On a more serious note, though, I mean, that's really incredible that you are able to be there for so many other women going through things, and you've walked through, you've been in their shoes, even though, every journey is a little bit different, but you're able to relate to them. And that has got to be so irreplaceable as far as what you can do and connect with them, how you can do that.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, it's not something that I've never shared that with any of my clients specifically, that I've also been a victim of sexual assault. I mean, it's something I've written about and not something that I'm ashamed of, but I'm also someone that, it happened to me when I was in law school, and I never told anyone. I never went to law enforcement. I never did anything about it. and I was not the person that was not going to report, like I'm strong, all the things that you think about someone that this person is going to report. And so for me to do what I do now, I have a greater understanding. I think that, there's no such thing as a typical victim. There's no right way to act, no normal way to act. And I think sharing that and being vocal about that and not being ashamed of that is really important because, our experiences make us who we are. It's certainly not something that I would have ever said, I'm glad that happened to me. But I know that through my experiences, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. And it makes me a better lawyer. It makes me a better advocate for my clients. And I'm grateful that I am able to do that for them.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, said it so perfectly. Like no story's the same, but
no, it's not. Exactly.
Yeah. So where did the blogging start? I know I'm kind of transitioning. I want to make sure we get everything in for everybody, but how did the blog come to be? And
I don't know. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy. Like I don't, I blog, I started, I guess it was 2016, 2017. And I just started writing. Like I was a prosecutor at that time and really looking for a creative outlet. And I've always loved writing. I've always loved storytelling. But sometimes being a prosecutor, I used to say sometimes I felt like I worked in a guilty plea factory because, it was kind of monotonous in some respects. And no disrespect to any prosecutor, it's an amazing job and I loved every minute of it. But I felt like I needed a little bit more creative outlook and outlet. So I just started writing and I was like, bitchy but bubbly, that's me. So I'll just start writing about bitchy but bubbly things. And sometimes that's, a recipe that my friend shared with me. Sometimes it's kind of a little rant that I have going on. Sometimes it's, talking about the fat girl wearing shorts. Sometimes it's, oh my gosh, this is a music that I really love. And it was just really comforting to me. And what I found through my writing was that all the things that we think are defective in us are the things that we're like, I wish I didn't do that, or I wish I didn't act like that, or I wish that wasn't part of my personality. Those are the things that people love and respect about you. And in fact, that's what connects you with other people. And it was really interesting and unique to have the experience of writing and connecting with complete strangers over things that you think, this is just me. I'm the only one that feels this way. So it was pretty fun. I enjoy doing it. I don't do it as much as I would love to. I would like to, but it's always nice to have the option to do that. And Instagram is kind of a fun little intermediary thing.
Yeah.
It kind of feeds that creativity in the intervals until you have the time to sit down and do a blog post. But, it's nice that it's something that you enjoy and not something that you feel like you have to do. So you still, get that creativity from it, which is so important, especially in your career.
Yeah. Being a lawyer is, it's obviously a serious profession. It's a serious job, but having the freedom to kind of do what you want to do with the writing, I know a lot of people are able to make a fantastic living at being a blogger, and that is fantastic. But I write for me, and if it connects with someone else, if I'm able to help someone else through what I'm experiencing or writing about, then I want to do that and I want to share that. So it's kind of like a selfish pursuit that kind of resonated with some folks, and it really has been.
You shared a quote with us, and it's from your little brother, and I'm curious how old little is, but it was so beautiful.
32.
So
he's 32.
32, okay. I have like a 7-year-old saying it in my mind, but 32 works.
He said it when he was about 22, though, just for like perspective. Yeah.
Can you share it with?
Little brother, always a little brother, right?
He's always going to be 12 in my brain.
Yeah.
It was really funny. I was kind of new to Facebook at the time because I was like, I'm not getting on Facebook, social media, whatever. Now I'm like, but I saw on his page, it was like the about page. And it's like your quotes, like the things you like, the TV shows. And his quote that he had on there was, if you don't think you're a 10, who will? A wise man, you know, like, I'm like, where'd you find that quote? Who said that? And he's like, I'm the wise man. What are you talking about? And I was like, what? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're 22-year-old kid. You are a wise man, because it's so true. You know, it's not about being arrogant or thinking I'm the best or I'm the greatest. But if you don't appreciate yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't realize you're valuable, if you don't think you're a 10, then how's anyone else going to appreciate you? And I just thought it was so incredible that my 22-year-old brother came up with that and was like, yeah, I'm a wise man, and recognized that about himself. And he still is a wise man, but he's a good kid.
I read that. I loved it. I'm like, that's so perfect. And it really, I mean, it fits everything you're doing too, because you are trying to create, you know, this self-awareness, being strong, owning who you are. And so I think that shows, you know, good family genes there of having self-awareness.
Good or bad, this is who we are.
I like the self-confidence level too, and the self-awareness. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a balance. You know, there are some days where you're like, oh, I feel like crap, you know, like every day is not like, gosh, you know, I feel amazing, I'm rocking, you know, I'm such a badass. Yeah, I mean, there are those days that you don't feel like, and it's okay to not feel like that all the time. In fact, we don't all feel like that. And sometimes I think with social media in particular, we get this image that people portray that, you know, life is perfect, and, you know, it's like being at the beach all the time, and, you know, my children are perfect, and my job is lovely, and look at this beautiful meal I've, you know, created after working 17 hours. And that's not real life. And so I think it's, you know, you have to have that balance and that confidence, and say, you know, sometimes it's okay to be, you know, to be a little bitchy, or be a little whoever it is that you're feeling that day, because no, you shouldn't have to be any way other than exactly who you are. And that's kind of what I feel like with Bitchy But Bubbly. And I'm about to get a little bit more bitchy with my little puppy. But I mean, that's just who you are. And I just think it's, you know, being authentic and, you know, showing who you are and not being ashamed of it, whether, you know, you are, you know, excited or happy or, you know, sad or anxious. I mean, I wear a necklace that says anxiety. I wear it everywhere. I go to court, you know, I've had they're like, what's your name? I thought your name was Sarah. And I'm like, no, that says anxiety. And they're like, why would you wear that? And I'm like, why wouldn't I wear that? I'm not ashamed of having anxiety. And just not being ashamed of all of those things that we're conditioned through society that we're not supposed to talk about, or we're not supposed to say, that we're supposed to hide. And that's just not who I am. And hopefully I give people just a little bit of courage to feel that in their own lives, you know?
Yeah, I love it. And it's one of those things I guess I'm curious about. Have you developed along the way into the person? I mean, I know we all we are today, but is this something that you have always felt passionate about, was just, you know, I'm going to be who I am, and if you don't like it, that's it. You know, I mean, for some of us it comes a little naturally. I'm a little jealous about that. That's great. But, you know, I'm just curious.
I've always been a little bit of a rebel. I've always been a little bit different. And in fact, probably more so than I should, embrace being different as almost like a badge of honor, and enjoyed pushing some buttons, just for the sake of pushing buttons. And I think that was me more when I was young. But as I've gotten older and evolved, realizing that, you know, that independence is a good thing, and that being different is okay. And in fact, it's what makes you special and valuable. And that's what makes us all interesting. And I think it's kind of been a mixture of both realizing and harnessing that differentness, or that weirdness, or that randomness, or whatever it is that you think that makes you different than everyone else, and learning, you know, I'm not like anyone else. I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else. You know, I was having a conversation earlier today with a friend of mine, and she is an incredible, beautiful person, but she struggles with comparison on social media. So she has to limit herself with that. And I feel very blessed that I don't feel that way right now. Now, tomorrow I might feel that way. But knowing what your triggers are, and knowing, you know, who I am is valuable, whether my hair is in a ponytail and I'm in sweatpants and no makeup, or I look, like Beyonce today, which whatever Beyonce, I mean, who looks like Beyonce other than Beyonce, but, knowing that it's all good no matter what, and feeling confident in that.
That's such an inspiration. I mean, that is so good right there. Hanging on to every word, right, Shauna?
I know. I was like, I want to look like Beyonce today, but I think it's so true. And I think you recognize that not everybody's experiencing the same things, but everybody has these different things. And yeah. So part of the Red Bra, our mission or where we kind of started was the Red Bra is not always seen. It's, it's this hidden superpower that we kind of have. It gives us our confidence. What's that?
Sometimes it's seen. You never know. Depends how big it's seen.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hidden. Sometimes it's outward. But, have you had one of those moments where you're like, this is the moment I had my Red Bra on and I just knew?
I think that there are lots of moments like that and I was trying to think, what is like that one moment where I'm like, oh yeah, like this is it. I feel that when I represent my clients. I feel that way when I press the publish button on something that's very, feels like very intimate, where I feel like I'm like sharing my diary with people. But it's in those moments that's where really, you connect with people on such a level that you're not going to get where it's like, hey, how are you? Oh, it's so good to see you. We should get lunch. It's in those moments where you're like authentically yourself and you're putting yourself out there, Red Bra or not. And you have that confidence to share, like, okay, I can do this. I can face whatever is coming, whatever I'm doing here. And it's been, for me personally, it's been such a blessing to have my Red Bra on in so many different areas of my life, and to be able to share and connect with people. And, I was at a party last week, and there was a young woman who I admire. I mean, she's just an incredible young woman. She's a great mother, great wife. She's a professor. I mean, just like an incredible woman. And she was talking and she said, I just don't know how you do all you do. I mean, you're just such a badass. And I looked at her and I was like, are you kidding me? You're such a badass. And she was like, no, I don't, you do that. And I was like, it's not about what I do. It's about what you do, and you feeling like a badass, whether, you get out of bed in the morning or not. And knowing yourself and saying, you know what, I feel good about whatever it is that I'm contributing. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but whatever it is, valuing that. And I think that's kind of a Red Bra moment for me.
That is so good. And I love how you said, you have Red Bra moments all over, and some of them are in this category and some of them are in that category. And that's the whole idea. And just with how you're sharing it and what you're sharing is it's so important, and we love it. And so for all of our viewers and audience tonight, we just want to encourage you guys to go on over, check out at Bitchy But Bubbly. Check out Sarah over there. She has got some great inspiration, and she just shares from her heart, and of course her blog and everything like that. So she will definitely light up your day. And Sarah, before we jump off, there's one quick thing I wanted you to share with everybody, and that was, what's the most unexpected thing you've learned along the way?
Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. No one. That's the most unexpected thing I've learned about being 37-year-old Sarah, bitchy but bubbly. No one knows what the hell they're doing. We think they do. You go, oh, she's perfect. She's got it all together. She's this, she's that. And I guarantee you, if you look underneath it all, or if you ask her, she thinks she's doing a crappy job, whoever she is. No one has it together. Grown-ups, we think as kids, like our parents, they've got it all together. And then, we become parents. We become the adults, and it's like, oh my gosh, they didn't have it together. And so learning that no one knows what they're doing. We're all doing the best they can. I truly believe that everyone, for the most part, is doing the best that they can with what they've got. And, that's okay. That's great. And understanding that and keeping your expectation level kind of okay. I need to keep my expectations sometimes muted with certain people. Sometimes, we all know that there are some situations that we have to evaluate our level of expectation with, but knowing that no one knows exactly what they're doing and that we're just kind of winging it through life and doing the best we can. That's what I've learned, and it kind of makes me have a lot of hope that, you know, I'm doing okay. You're doing okay. Shauna, Renee, we're all doing okay. And there's no book, there's no roadmap to life. And so just enjoy it and know that every day is a gift, and use it to the best that we can.
It is a gift. You're so right. And I feel like we don't always appreciate that in the moment. And so keeping our minds in check, like you just said, is so true.
Yeah.
Sarah, we end every episode with a quote, and you referenced two of my favorite authors, Brene Brown and Glennon Doyle, in our questionnaire, Get to Know You. And I just was like, I know the perfect Glennon Doyle quote for you. And so that's what I'm running with, which is be messy and complicated and afraid and show up anyway. And I just think that speaks so much to you. And I love what you're doing. I hope many of our followers start following you, because I think that they're in for some good, authentic writing and just inspiration. So,
well, thanks, y'all. That's so great.
Well, we are honored to have you here tonight. We love the y'all. We love the bubbly. And a little bit of the bitchy, too, you know?
Cheers.
I know. Cheers. Cheers. You have a fun drink.
Well, it's been a long day. But thank y'all so much for inviting me. Thank y'all for having me. I've enjoyed my time with y'all. And God, that was like 3 y'alls. And like,
that's great. Yeah.
Bring it, girl. Come on.
Well, we have loved getting to know you. For those of you that have not subscribed to our channel already, please do hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for those post notifications. Also, head on over to Instagram at theredbraproject.com or visit us. No, I do that every time. At theredbraproject.com is our website. At the Red Bra Project is our Instagram handle. I will get it. The blonde is real, and it's getting hotter in here as it goes on. I don't have AC. Sarah and I talked about this. Well, we just want to say thank you again. You guys have a great night, and we'll definitely be following your journey, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.